the Rentvesting Podcast, the ultimate property podcast that unpacks the facts and explains what's really going on in property. Learn how to live where you want, but invest where you can afford with your hosts, Louis Strange and Jayden Vecchio.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of the Rentvesting Podcast, where we talk about being able to live where you want, but invest where you can afford. I'm Jayden.
I'm Louis.
So we've got a good episode this week. Oh, Bernard, the Silver Fox Salt kind of got my goat a bit.
The salty dog.
Man. So like there was a bit of press with the Weekend Australian recently where he wrote an article, which is mostly,
it's a bit of a rant piece just about hipsters. Culture these days with
like
hipsters and their milk crates.
But on a serious note, there was like a fleeting part at the end there where it was talking about young people and then not being able to afford property because they go out and spend $22 on
Smashed Avo
on toast.
Was the reference. So
we thought this week we should talk about reconditioning, because there are a lot of young people. Mate, I've been there. I don't know if you've been there. Too financially sensible, but people complain property's expensive. Our parents had it easy. They went to university for free. All those sort of catch cries, and some of it's fair enough. I don't think some of it is, and I think there's always things you can do about it. So we're going to talk about changing the way you think.
Yeah, because there's that constant argument going on between the baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y about who had it tougher, who had the worst time. Right now, millennials are saying property's too expensive and it's the baby boomers' fault, and the baby boomers are saying that it's the millennials' fault because they're not saving enough or not directing enough to
spend everything.
Yeah, spending everything.
On the internet. So have expensive weddings, blah, blah, blah.
So old Bernard said people should spend less on breakfast and save for a home deposit instead. But the psychology behind that, now, back in 1980, it on average took around 4 years to accumulate a home deposit. Now, due to income versus expensive property, it's around 10 years.
So it's expensive. So today we talk about getting a property plan.
Yeah. So today we'll talk about getting a property plan, but just take a step back. Because it takes so long now to save for a home deposit, there's a little psychological thing that's stopping a lot of people. And it's this term called hyperbolic discounting.
Ooh, so, tell me more.
So
did you use that pickup line?
Hey, baby, let me hyperbolic discount you. So the happiness that you get from saving versus the happiness you get from spending now is the underlying concept. So a lot of people would prefer to save $1 now to spend $1.50 down the track. But some people would prefer to spend $1 now and get that instant gratification. So it's a bit of hardwiring that we have back from the old Neanderthal days where who knows when your next meal is going to come around. So if you get something, you'll use it or eat it or whatever the resource was. You wouldn't have it tomorrow. And that's been almost hardwired into us over time, where if we get something to get that instant gratification, we want to spend it now.
So i.e., I want smashed Avo on toast because I'm hungry now and the toast at home isn't as good. So I'm happy to spend more now.
Yeah, in a way, it's more focused on, say you had that $22. Would you be happier going out, socializing with your friends, spending that $22?
So go disco dancing.
Or would you prefer to stay at home, put that in the bank and see that grow over time?
Makes sense.
And the fact that it does take a long time for funds to grow is the major reason why this is not an attractive thing, especially when people think I've got 40 years until retirement or I've got 10 years until I have a home deposit saved. So I'm not going to bother because it's pointless at this stage.
Which takes us to the property plan. So Louis put together this sweet Excel spreadsheet that we'll put on the website where basically it helps you break down your goals and really show, how much that money could actually grow to or how to save that money in a few years. But really probably starting from the top then, how do you set goals? That's probably pretty important part of your property plan.
So you have to set the goal to be quantitative. First of all, you need to have an idea about how much you're going to save, what time period, and that comes back to that SMART acronym.
To be specific?
Yeah, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So if you have a wish of buying a property, it's a good idea, but having a goal to buy a property looks a little different. You want to say, I need to save $100,000 for a home deposit in the next 5 years to buy a property that's worth around $500,000. So that's an actual goal. And to get you there, all you have to do is in this little Excel spreadsheet, put in your time period, put in how much you currently have, put in what your end goal is, and it will tell you basically how much you need to save and what return you need to get on those funds to get you there.
Pretty cool. It's got all these cool macros and stuff too. It's pretty impressive. I had to play with it before.
So that comes back to, in the plan, you need to focus on earnings. So rather than spending to spend to earn. So you can start for every dollar that you would rather spend on Smashed Avo, spend that on something that can actually generate you an income. So the concept of putting those funds away for a home deposit, the longer you have, the less you have to put away as well. So if you had to save in a year, you're not going to get a great return over a year. So you can basically just have to save 100% of the funds. But if you're thinking you're currently in your early 20s or 18 or so, you've probably got about 10 years realistically to save before you're in your late 20s. And that makes it much more achievable due to this little thing called compounding interest.
Oh, God, don't start about compounding interest again. Anyway, it's pretty important. But I think your takeaway there is you focus on the monthly income.
Yeah.
Write it down and think bigger, really, and plan around that rather than hoping, I'll start planning on January 1 next year or make a New Year's resolution, or what difference does this $100 or $50 or $10 make? So
you need to stop delaying and just do, and don't complain almost.
And over the years, it'll compound.
Yeah. So there's a simple way to explain that is there's a thing called the rule of 7, where if you're getting a 10% return on your funds every year, they should double every 7 years. So say, for instance, you have $10,000 now, you invest that, in 7 years, that should be $20,000. Then 14 years from today, it should be $40,000, so on. But the longer you delay, that's obviously another 7-year cycle you've got to go through. So you can either start saving now and before the 7 years is finished, double your money, or you could just delay 7 years and then hope for the best.
Yeah. It's up to you, really. I'm not going to force you to do anything. You're all grown adults, hopefully. Maybe you got some kid listeners. They're smart kids. But which is probably the last thing is, invest in your knowledge and invest in yourself. So, this sort of stuff, you're doing the right thing by listening to a podcast. Pat on the back, probably. But knowledge is power. And the more you learn, the more you invest in yourself, and you set into place these plans and strategies for your future, means that you won't be like some of our friends that are kind of whingy millennials that complain.
Yeah.
Which is Lou's last point.
So that was the last point. A little story on that one where I was listening to a psychologist talk about why people complain, and simply because they know something else is better out there. So if someone's complaining, saying, oh, I hate my job, or my girlfriend's shit, or something like that, I'm fat. They know that there is a better alternative. They're just not willing to really do it. So you could go get a new job, but that's a bit scary. Could go and lose some weight. That is too not appealing for a lot of people.
Wake up early.
And you could go through that breakup again and get a new girlfriend, but that's going to be a lot of effort. So
we're not advocating divorce either. So in that situation, probably don't do that.
From a financial plan, that's super expensive. So probably don't do that one.
But really the point is, you've got to do it. Don't complain.
You're in control of your own life. So rather than complaining about external factors, you can really take charge and actually get there if you have a plan.
Yep. So I guess looping back to the top, and mate, that's a pretty good summation, but get the property plan. We'll put the link in the show notes and download it from our website. It's a really cool template which you can use and practically look at. You set a goal in 10 years, I want to save $100,000, and it breaks it down to monthly and ways you can invest that, which is actually really awesome. And help you focus on earning and saving to invest, not just saving to save, which is boring. Investing's way more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Cool. Well, until next week.
Have a good week.
Cool.